Good morning, students. Today we will learn about two very important functions, modulus function and greatest integer function. And the knowledge of these two is very important for solving the various problems. So first is modulus function. It is denoted by mod x. It is also called absolute value function. The function f from R to R defined by fx is equal to mod x is called modulus function, and here x takes all real values. And how it will be defined, this mod x, fx mod x, that will be equal to, its value will be equal to x if x is greater than 0. If x is equal to 0, this mod x will be equal to x, and if x is less than 0, then the value of this mod x will be minus x. Clear? For example, suppose I want to find the value of minus 5 mod minus 5, then what will be its value? Firstly, check whether the number written inside is less than 0 or greater than 0. It is less than 0. So its value will be, if it is less than 0, then the after coming out of the modulus, its value will be minus x. So it will be minus 5. It means plus 5. Clear? And suppose mod 5, then the number written inside is greater than 0. It will come out as it is. If it is 5, it will be 5. If it is mod 7, it will be mod 7. But if it is minus 5, then the symbol will be changed. It will be 5. If it is minus 7, it will be 7. Means if there are negative values inside, they will come out with changing symbol. And if they are positive, they will remain positive. And if it is 0, it will be 0. Clear? So simply all the values, whether they are negative or positive inside the mod, they will be positive after coming out of the modulus. Now next is greatest integer function. Greatest integer function is also called GINT. G-I-N-T, GINT function. It is denoted by this square bracket x. Clear? The function f from R to R given by fx is equal to this square bracket x, where x takes all the real values, is called a greatest integer function. And how we take its value? Suppose which values this greatest integer function takes. When it comes out of the greatest integer function, it will be an integer. Right? Its value will be an integer. Suppose it is minus 1, then the number written is what? Integer, na? So it will be integer. If it is 1, 1. If it is 2, 2. Means suppose the number written inside this square bracket is integer, then after coming out this square bracket, that number will remain as it is. Means if it is an integer, that will remain an same integer. That will remain same integer. But if it is fraction, there will be two cases. Now either the number will be integer, purely integer, or it will be fraction, or it will be in decimal. Right? So if it is a proper integer, then the value will be that integer. But if it is in fraction, say it is minus 1.5, it is in decimal, then its value will be an integer. But which integer? The integer which is less than this. So minus 1.5, what is the integer which is less than minus 1.5? Minus 2. Right? And if it is 1.4, then the integer which is less than 1.4 is 1. If it is 2.7, then 2. If it is 0.1, then the integer which is less than 0.1 is what? 0. So whenever there is GINT function, then the value which we obtain is either the value which we keep inside this, they are the real functions now. So if they are proper integer, the values, the answer will be your integer, but if they are decimals, then the values which come out, that will be the integer less than those values. Clear? So these type of problems will be useful in various places like derivatives, limits, and functions also. Thank you.